Alright, another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel. It's alright, here's my next victim. The Zencore CR70. Universal CRT Analyzer and Restorer. Very pronounced little problem. Let's plug it in. We'll plug it into the variable oscillated power supply right here. Alright, power it up. And we'll power it up right here. And what I want you to look at is the filament set. Look at the screen. Filament voltage, first off, is set for around the 6 volt range. Watch the filament set. I'm turning the filament set all the way up, and look, nothing. See that? What the devil is that? You think this is an easy problem? I've already been in this thing. This will be probably the third time I've tried to find this problem. Very, very touchy. I mean, it's about as most touchy thing you'll ever see. So I'm going to take it all apart. Let's open it up to where we can work on it and get to it, get plenty of light and all that jazz, and see if we can figure out what is the problem with this thing. I'll tell you one thing. This thing is a pain in the butt to get out of that case. You have to clear these studs right here. Sometimes that ain't easy to do. Anyway, here we are. We'll power back to this thing. Back again. I got it out of the case, as you can plainly see. We've got the filament voltage set for 6, got the filament set for all the way up, and we do not have anything. And I can tell you there is no filament voltage at the end of this cable. So I want to show you just how sensitive this is. Watch. I do have this on, right? It acts like it's just no power. How about I turn the power on? Well, now it's going to work. But had to twist and snatch and pull and snatch and cuss. Get the stupid thing out of the case. So it ain't no telling what I've done. Intermittent little sucker. Let me get it on its side. I'm not sure I was even recording. I ain't sure what happened there. Well, anyway, I've got it apart, and let me show you what I'm thinking about doing. This is where it was sensitive before. I don't know what that would have caused, but it's the neutral side of the AC line cord, and it's got this white wire going up here into this board here, whatever that board is. Whatever that board is it goes to. I have no idea. But anyway, this is where I suspect. This is the second most sensitive place here. And I suspect it's one of these wires that's not seated properly in the seat. And it takes a special tool to crimp these things. But what I've done is there was a wire tie right here and another wire tie right there. I've cut them 2 wire ties loose, as you can see right there. So what I'm going to do, you guys are going to watch the screen, or watch the meter right here. And I'm going to take my pair of needle nose and I'm going to grab each one of those wires going into that plug, and I'm going to wiggle it. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Like that first wire, that's a green wire. Super sensitive. I don't have the tool to do this properly. Boy, it's just going crazy. Alright, let me do another one. That was the first one. You see that? It's just like, wow, it's just like it's all centered I'm just wiggling. This is on the 4th. Every wire. I mean, it's just weird. I don't know what it's affecting. So yeah, let me power this off a minute. I'm going to pull this main plug. Pull the main plug that's got, let me show you. Pull the main plug right here. And that's the one that goes to the CRT. I've got it out of the way. We'll move this one out of the way. I'm trying to get these cables to where I can get them to where they don't interact with each other. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Cutting more wire ties. I mean, it's pretty dense in here. They're all so tight. Alright, here we go. Applied power again. We're going to try this again. And I looked at this board. I didn't see where, I mean, I'm just touching this board. I mean, it's just, I mean, I can breathe on it and make it act up. I mean, this beats all I've ever seen, y'all. And there's one wire here that I'm moving. It's not really touching anything else. I swear if it's this wire here, but I wish I could ohm each one of those out. I just suspect that plug. I just can't help it. It's just watch me get bit. So now I'm holding this board and it is rock solid, but if I let go of this board, flex it, it starts acting up. I don't know what kind of voltage is on here. I don't know. It's weird. I'll show you what I'm doing here. This board right here. Hard to see. I'll just show you. This board right here is the one that's super sensitive. I can just touch this board. I don't know what that has to do with the filament. Yeah, I do, because that's the one that reduces the filament voltage. So I'm going to pull this board back out, have a closer look at it. Something's up. It's got to be this board. That's where it's most sensitive at. Anything I touch in this area on this board, if I push that board, a little bit of pressure on that board, it completely straightens up. So let me power this thing down. I will get the board out and kind of get it to where I can work on it with it powered up, and let's see if we can identify this problem once and for all. Had to retake that last. Okay, this is the board that's super sensitive right here. This board right here. That board right there is the restore and also the emission live test buttons right here. This is restore and emission live test buttons right here. But this wire right here was super sensitive, but so was these several here. And also, if I put pressure on this board, it completely stopped the problem. So it's either these connections here or something on this board. I don't know what. So I'm gonna put you back here, let you watch, and you can only watch so many things. I'll let you watch that, and I'm going to probe around the board. First, Got to turn this stupid thing on. And I got to turn this to where I can see it. Alright, now we point you down a little bit. There you are. Here we go. I'm going to wiggle the green wire. Nothing. Good. Wiggle the blue wire. Nothing. Wiggle the orange wire, which should be pin 3. Now the red and white. See how stable it is now? Is that not odd or what? But since I've got it held in this panel vise, oh, got a winner here. One of these just affected it. Something affected it. See if I can do this without getting popped. Yeah. Very dangerous. You see it? Man, I suspect those connections. You got to twist it just a certain way. So now I'm going to probe. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Let me widen you out a little bit. Watch this meter. So I probe that pin right there. You see that? That's amazing. I am about to reflow this board. So I'm going to power it off. I'm going to get my trusty dusty Hakko soldering iron here if I can manage not to destroy it with my clumsy hands. And I'm going to get me a little bit of light on the subject. This old troublesome a little light on it. We'll get my magnifier out. And before I power's off, let me get my solder. They don't look bad, but one of them actually does. So let's just reflow it. The easiest way to find this kind of problem is just reflow it or resolder it. And here we go. Boy, that'd be great if that fixed the problem. I tried using this the other day to test that CRT in my Dumont, and this thing would not work. The filament would not stay on. And it's taking solder well. It's looking really good. I wish I had a 3D microscope. This board soldering looks pretty good, but I'm going to solder everything that needs to be soldered on. Oh, that looked like a ring around that one there. Did I miss a ring before? Entirely possible. Yep, there's a ring right there. We may have just found the problem with this board. Man, I hope so, because this thing is very frustrating when it does this. Do them all, whether they need it or not. Even if they don't look like they're connected to nothing, do it anyway. Alright. Hopefully that'll fix it, and this will be a short video. I hope so. Nothing worse than... Alright. Powering it back up. It actually came on. Well, let me wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. It was Mr. What's that guy's name? Oh my gosh, can't. E-Vlog. Davey. Oh, Dave. Oh, Davey boy. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Bob's your uncle. My golly, I think I got it. I think it did. And it was that one connection right there that looked rough to me. My golly, I think we lucked out and got it. Finally. Let me put it back in the case and let's try it again. Alright, here we go. Powered back on. I'm going to wiggle the snot out of this board. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Solid as a rock. That's what it was. Connections on that board. I'll be dad young. Why didn't I do that the first time? Alright, let me put it in the case and let's see if we can test the CRT. Alright, we have the Syncor CR70 connected using the universal cable. UA1 I think it's called. So it's a 17 kp4, so set this on black and white. K is on 3. This should be 4, this should be 5. We'll turn the cutoff set all the way down. We're video, F1, F2, and then filament voltage 6. So my bias of minus 36. So we're ready to roll. Powered on. And look, we have filament. Imagine that. Setting the filament voltage for 6.3, which is on the little red dot right there. Right, heater the cathode shorts. Says it's good. G1 shorts. Says it's good. We'll set the cutoff. Cutoff. Just like on the other one, the cutoff did not set, but we'll run it about halfway. And then we'll just do emission. Say we will. Coming up slowly. It's taking a little while. Cut off set. Now this one says Give it an ounce more filament. It's just a weak tube. This one says it's a little weak. Do the emission life test. It takes it a little while to come up, but it's right on the border with this one right here. I really don't want to try the rejuvenate portion of this. As it runs, though, as you can see, it gets better as it runs. Go back to cutoff. Bring our cutoff down just a little bit. G1 short says it's good. This says it's still good. Filament set. We got the 6.3. Cutoff is in the. It's just like it did on the other one. I mean, the longer it plays, the better it gets. So it's not the best tube in the world, but it's not the worst one either. It's a lot better than that Admiral that I brought home and had a completely dead CRT. So there you have it. We repaired another CRT tester and verified that that CRT is good using 2 testers. So there you go. That should be a short one here. So thank y'all for watching. See you on the next one.